Okay, I agree wholeheartedly. This is Sister LeTava. I agree wholeheartedly. You're absolutely right. A lot of times, unfortunately, as women, we are afraid to be vulnerable with one another, largely due to the fact that we still buy into the notion that when something's wrong in our lives, it's just us. Like, I'm the only one with this problem, so we tend to hoard it and protect it and guard it. But secrets keep you sick. That's something one of the priestess here says all the time. Secrets keep you sick. And until our desire for liberation outweighs our desire for anonymity, then we will always be sick. We have to be willing to be open and honest. We have to be able to be committed and realistic. And sometimes that's just not what we're willing to do as people, period, but especially as women, because we are so scrutinized on a daily basis. Not only are we extraordinarily judgmental of one another, born out of our own personal insecurities, often introduced to us and fostered through external relationships, but we're also scrutinized by society at large and by our up-close interactions and relationships with intimate partners. So we endure, as black women, a great deal of scrutiny. So we are really walking around like third-degree burn victims. When women attempt to come together and build, it is because their need has grown so great that they can no longer deny the necessity for a cure. However, by the time they reach that point, they've received so many battle scars that they are as sensitive as a third-degree burn victim. So the least bit of abrasion is excruciating to the average sister trying to develop herself. So even if I'm reaching out to embrace you with a hug, it feels like I'm taking a cheese grate to your skin. So that's one thing in leadership, you have to already know that. So we can't take it personal. I often can't take it personal. And I know Sister Knowledge is Power. I think we interact close enough. You know, we've interwoven around one another before. And I think you get a chance to see some of the pros and cons of just, I would say, my reputation, or people have mixed views of even me. Even though none of the negative stuff is necessarily the case, it won't keep people from complaining about, and you know, as frank as I usually am, obviously it's early for me to be talking this casual and quaint. It must be early in my day. But most people take my assertive personality offensively, and I understand that. But the truth of the matter is, we are in a war condition. Time is not on our side, and I live in an environment of nation building. It's not what I do on the weekends. It's not what I do every other Saturday. This is my day-to-day life. So what is the norm for me, I have to already know, is not the norm for other people. So yes, there are reactions. I fortunately have the privilege of being able to see what happens to people when we go through reorientation. Is kind of like emotional, spiritual, and psychological detox. Because when you come to live in a place like this and you try to stop living individually, you go through all kind of reactionary hiccups and glitches. You'll act out, you'll behave awkwardly, and it'll look strange to those of us who've been here for years, but it's just reactionary. It's reactionary to the new environment. So partly we have to protect new people like infants, and then partly we have to set the bar high and have great expectations because they are adults, and we must transition quickly because time is not on our side. And if we allow them to take too much time in their transitional phase, they will become destructive to the environment in which we've created. So that's part of the responsibility of leadership. And I